current state of the 1955. The state of my shop is not so great, but tractor, it's getting there. We're going to pull it in today and start sanding and cleaning on it, and discovered a few more problems, so we kind of stopped what we were doing there to work on it some more. I've got my ratchet straps and lights up for the homemade paint booth. Got my roll of plastic. We'll wrap it, put a wall here, and then pull the door to cover the floor and the ceiling. And it's worked well in the past, so we're going to try it again. I found some problems with the brakes. I had taken them apart and missed an O-ring, so they were still leaking a little bit. Actually, it's just the other side. This side was fine. The hydraulic pump was leaking on this side. We just fixed that. That was just a bad gasket. So once I get done with making grease, we'll start sanding her down. All the white stuff is some rust eater that we found at Ace. It's actually really good. It's Rust-Oleum rust dissolver is what it is. And that stuff works great. Whether you spray it on or soak something in it, it does a good job. See here, I wiped some of it off. That used to look more like this. And this is one coat. So I like that stuff so far. We got a lot of cleaning to do, a lot of scraping still. I don't have a pressure washer in the shop, so I had to drive it to the pressure washer, so the battery box and things like the alternator are on there. So I'll just take them off and clean behind them by hand. And then I got everything that I don't want to paint taped up. So maybe within the next 2 weeks we'll be shooting paint. I don't have as much time to work on it as I'd like to. So these brakes were froze up. Not froze up, they were sticking. And when I first took them off, we were beating them with a 3-pound sledge, getting it to move. And now it turns freely. Both of them do. There was an O-ring in there that was leaking fluid. Where this actual piston comes out, when you move it, of course it's not got fluid in it, so it's not gonna come out, but that piston comes out when the brakes are applied, and it was dripping hydraulic fluid. So we get those fixed up. I'll have to order some O-rings. There's a great big O-ring that went around the whole thing there. Sponsored by Red Bull. Then we've been working on some sheet metal. I got some pictures. I'm not a welder, bear in mind. There's a little bit of, what do you call, like a hole there, and same with there. But overall it looked good. We welded metal in and then lopped the extra off, and when I go to put it together and I have the grill, I'll cut it perfect. But the grill slides in right there, and they're real bad about cracking. And then did a little bit of bondoing over here, and just various sheet metal work. I mean, that's how it is with old tractors. This needs some work. I believe this is supposed to be a hole, but I'm not sure. But I got sheet metal parts laying everywhere. I got a fender there. The fenders need some serious work, and all these. And the underneath of a lot of them is still good, so I'll probably just polish that out and leave the original paint underneath, because it looks good. I mean, it's been covered in grease, so it's been protected. And I figure, why take it off if it's fine? But these fenders, I guess, got moisture and dirt in them and rusted and froze through, or froze and rusted through. So we'll probably cut that out there, replace that. Maybe this here. It depends. This is covered by the bracket, so it just depends. But and once we start painting, get done with that, we'll roll it out and put the wheels and tires back on it that's supposed to be on it. Flipping these out backwards to work on it sure has been nice. It makes it a lot easier to get everything done. Barely fits in the door, but it's definitely easy to get in here. Once I get it painted, then we'll start doing some cool stuff, like, which I'm doing it backwards, but turbo, EGT gauge, boost gauge. The pump's already been played with. It really needs turning down, to be honest. But once I get it cosmetically where I want it, it's almost mechanically where I want it. And we'll get it cosmetically where I want it. And then we'll start doing cool stuff to it. One piece at a time. So I'm going to preface this by saying I have a welder, but I'm not a welder. Big difference. Especially not a sheet metal welder. So I may be doing this wrong, but I don't know better. So if you want to tell me, that's fine. By the time I post this video, it'll be done. Hopefully. So I'll know next time. However, if any of this is done wrong, forgive me. But I wanted to get deeper into this. The amount of rust and slag on these is crazy. There's like 3/4 of an inch there of just rust chunks. That's from the other side. But I'm wondering if these are still going to be salvageable. This is just full. I just bent that, but well. The other one is like that, and it's weird they only busted in the middle here. There's a rib here and a rib here, and they're a little bad here, but not horrible. I mean, obviously there's holes, but there's a big cover that goes right there. So, lots of dirt there, lots of dirt. Somebody, I guess, was in a dusty field and it settled all in there and they didn't wash it out. Can't say I would have either.